So there's another thing that's happening as well. This is really going to sound trippy, but I'll just go for it. So we're doing a lot of timeline jumping as well. And one of the things that we've been doing at nighttime especially, and this is kind of a part of the awakening or the ascension, is it's going to sound weird. We've been living through other timelines. So if you've ever had a dream where it feels so visceral, it feels so real, it's like you're right there, you're living it, but you're actually not you. You're a different person altogether, maybe a different race or a different gender or a different age. And you're like, wow, but this feels so real. What's happening is we're actually downloading and receiving different timelines and different lifetimes from the collective grid to give us information that we need for this timeline, for our body. Yeah, so I call it uploading and downloading from the grid. And that's possible. You can do that in meditation, but what I found at night is I'm hopping into these completely different lifetimes, but it feels like modern, like today, not necessarily a past life. And I'm a different person, and I'm learning something in the dream from this alternate reality. And then I take that lesson back into my present life.
That is interesting.
It's wild.
Wow.
Yeah.
And are you lucid in these dreams? Or
I'm extremely lucid, yeah.
Okay. But do you alter anything, or do you kind of just let it happen?
No, it's like I'm aware of myself as that person doing the things, but I'm like going through the motions. You know, sometimes I have lucid dreams and I'm like, we're in a dream right now. You know, like,
that's how I was.
Wake up. You know,
that's how I was as a kid. I'd want to just mess around and stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I want to do that these days. You know.
Yeah, for sure.
I kind of just want to let it happen, and I feel like there's lessons in dreams.
Yeah, there are. Right.
Like I feel like dreams are really important.
They are.
I have a journal every morning. I write down what I remember.
Yep. I had a dream not too long ago, and I was like in a courthouse, and same thing. I think I was myself, but I was in like heels, which was weird, and a dress. I was like dressed very nicely. And I was coming out of this courtroom, and as I'm walking out, I realize I'm in a dream, like I'm dreaming. And so I go over to this group of people who are probably like lawyers. They're all very nicely dressed in this courthouse. And I grab them by the arm, and I'm like, we're dreaming right now. This is a dream. Like, we've got to wake up from this dream. And they're like looking at me like I have just lost my marbles. And like, we're in reality. And I'm like, no, I'm serious. Like, we've got to wake up. Let's wake up together. And they're like, okay, someone call security.
That's hilarious.
You know, but it was just,
I've done that before. And the creepy part is when they're agreeing with you.
Yeah, they're like, okay, yeah.
They're like, wait, you're in my dream. You know? Because I feel like extraterrestrials or whatever can enter your dreams.
For sure. But so can spirits, right? So ghosts and like loved ones, like that's the main contact that the average everyday person has to someone who's crossed over and passed on. Is they'll meet them in their dream and say, hey, I'm okay. And like that's such a beautiful, it is like a meeting space. It's an interdimensional meeting space. Really.
Which is cool. And I've heard of people that are still alive in this lifetime can dream hop as well. Some people have that ability.
Yep, absolutely.
They can enter other people's dreams. That's crazy.
Yeah, I haven't been able to do that. I don't know if I'd want to.
Actually, yeah, that might be invasive.
Yeah, it does feel a bit invasive.
Yeah. So I'm looking into fairies right now.
Okay,
because I'm half Irish and I know there's a lot of lineage there in Ireland. Have you had any experiences with fairies?
Oh yeah, I love the elementals. So I have like a 10-acre off-grid type property in Canada, and I didn't realize it at the time, but it's surrounded by fairies.
Whoa,
fairies
in Canada.
And like little gnomes. Yeah, so they're everywhere, right? Especially where there's nature and like forests. They tend to love forests, and like running water. One of the things that I learned just this past summer from the fairies is the way that they can communicate with each other is through mimicking physical sounds. So a sound is a vibration or a frequency, right? And fairies or the elementals are in the 4th dimension. We are in the 3rd dimension. So I also believe that, say, Sasquatch or Yeti, they're in the 4th dimension as well. That's why sometimes you don't see them, but you hear them.
Right, the shapeshifters,
you don't see them, but you smell them, right? And so they can like sort of shift in and out of this dimension. And so a bunch of my friends went into the forest and they ended up hearing this growling, this like really strong growling sound. And I'm like, that's weird. Like we don't have wolves or coyotes. Like we don't have anything in the woods that would give that sound. So the one day I was meditating and I was chatting with the fairies. Sounds ridiculous. But I was like, hey, so my friends got pretty spooked the other night. They heard a bunch of growling from the woods and they ran out. And the fairy said, that was us mimicking the sound of a coyote to scare them out of the woods because they were on sacred grounds.
Whoa.
Like they were coming into a territory that we didn't want them to come into. So we had to scare them off somehow. So especially if you walk into the woods and you hear these like bird chirps, which just sound like the natural environment, that can be them communicating with each other through the sounds that they can mimic.
Interesting.
Yeah, I had no idea.
So they can mimic other animal noises.
They can mimic whatever they hear. Yeah, animal.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is cool.
Yeah, it's
How do you
interesting.
know if you're on sacred grounds? Because that's kind of scary if you're just hiking one day and then you're somewhere.
I think there's a feeling, right? You got to like really tune in. It's like you step into a certain place of the woods, and for me anyway, like I'll feel it. Like sometimes you feel like you're being watched by them because they're watching you. But sometimes it just feels like kind of like a holy place. Like there's an energy there.
Wow.
You know? Yeah.
That is crazy. Damn. You got 10 acres in Canada?
Yeah, we got
That is
10 acres.
beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
I
like
grow
retirement
all
goals
my
for
own,
me.
Yeah, I grow all my own food.
Oh,
and
that's cool.
Yeah. So we're up there in the summer. We escape the heat of Nevada.
I want to get to that point because there's an energetic component to food.
Oh my goodness, there is. There's nothing like growing your own food. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And just being off grid and yeah.
I mean, people don't know the meat they eat, the energy in it.
Yeah,
If it's like
exactly.
slaughtered in a certain way, it could affect your body, right?
Yeah, so I actually so I'm a intuitive eater. I used to be plant-based for a long time, and then I was keto. You know, you try kind of different things. But for me, I talk to all of my food. So
You talk to your food?
yeah. So like if I'm cutting a tomato, I love cooking too.
Yeah.
So if I'm cutting a tomato, I'll be like, thank you so much for growing and give me the nutrients I need.
Wow.
I'll also talk to my meat, especially meat and fish. I'll be like, thank you so much for being here. It's kind of tough because there's something called psychometry, which is if you touch an object, you can get a sense or a feeling of the energy of the object. For me, because I'm clairvoyant, I can have flashbacks of objects.
Whoa.
Yeah. So I've touched like ancient relics and stones and other things that I've gotten flashbacks. I can touch a crystal and actually sometimes even get a flash of the person who mined it out of the ground.
What?
Yeah. And even like pinpoint where in the world it was mined from and then
That's
get it
cool.
confirmed. Yeah. So, but yeah, with meat, unfortunately, you know, I'll be talking to it or tuning into it and I'll get the last moments of that animal's life.
Wow.
Which is, you know, it's obviously very traumatic, but I thank them and I have gratitude. I'm like, thank you for feeding my body and for being here in this, you know, capacity. So, and that raises the frequency. And I always tell people, I'm like, look, alcohol is a lower vibration, right? Just naturally, objectively, alcohol has a low vibrational frequency. But if we crack open that beer with gratitude and we say, thank you so much for being, you know, the cold ending of my day, we can raise the frequency of the beer. So when it comes down to the beer or the kombucha, you know, you can raise the frequency of whatever it is that you're consuming as long as you do it consciously.
That's cool. Wherever you guys are watching this show, I would truly appreciate it if you follow or subscribe. It helps a lot with the algorithm. It helps us get bigger and better guests, and it helps us grow the team. Truly means a lot. Thank you guys for supporting, and here's the episode.